It's Tuesday, November 11th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, lest we forget, Canadians will honor those who gave their lives to serve our country on this Remembrance Day. Your top news headlines just ahead. And supporting veterans, we speak with Vets Canada about the work they do year-round. That's coming up in our 7 o'clock hour.
Plus, wartime memories. We visit the Nova Scotia archives to preview the extensive collection of wartime posters. All that and so much more just ahead on the Tuesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. It is 6:01 on this Tuesday, November 11th. It is Remembrance Day. Thank you so much for spending part of your morning here with us. We appreciate it. Many people off work, students off school today because of the day to take time to honor our veterans and those who continue to serve. We're going to have a special show throughout the morning highlighting different veteran stories. An important part of Remembrance Day, of course, is all those ceremonies that take place outside at the local cenotaph. So a big part of today is what's the forecast, Latavia?
Absolutely. Well, it is a warm start to the day. We are going to see some isolated showers and or drizzle for much of the Maritime region. Newfoundland and Labrador seeing a bit heavier of that rainfall and flurry action. So we'll take a look currently right now. Outside at St. John's, you can see here, not a bad start to the day, although wet. We do have this low pressure system tracking across the region. It is bringing that wet weather your way. Rain at times heavy for the most part. Currently 4 degrees as you head outdoors. So for our current temperatures, it is quite warm. We are sitting above seasonal for this morning. Will remain so into the afternoon. For our current temperatures early this morning, around in the double digits for the Maritime region at least. So as of right now, we're going to take a look at our current temperatures in just a second. All right, so 13 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, 16 in Moncton, 15 starting off your day in Charlottetown, as well as into Halifax, 13 in Sydney, 4 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. Still holding on to that rainfall warning in effect for most of Cape Breton Island until Wednesday morning. We do also have that rainfall warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland with a wind warning remaining until Wednesday morning. A special weather statement remains in effect with that snowfall warning and freezing rain warning for parts of Labrador. Here's a look at that system currently tracking across much of the region. As of right now, we're still dealing with showers and or drizzle for parts of Nova Scotia, seeing periods of rain and or showers for parts of Prince Edward Island, also seeing mixed precipitation for parts of New Brunswick. And then for Newfoundland, that heavier rain throughout the day today, and for Labrador, still seeing some wet snow heading your way. Over to the current winds, we are going to see it pick up yet again today. As of right now, remains out of the southwest, 52 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 35 in Lunenburg, 33 in Yarmouth, 30 in Halifax. Wind gusts getting up to 72 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 52 in Bathurst, 54 in St. John, New Brunswick. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Across Atlantic Canada and the country, Canadians will honor those who gave their lives to serve our country. Whether outside at a cenotaph or inside an arena or community center, most Remembrance Day ceremonies in our region will begin at 10:30 a.m. From the last post, 2 minutes of silence, and the laying of wreaths, the tributes will honor our veterans and those who continue to serve and protect. Now, for those who can't attend in person, we will have a live stream of the Grand Parade ceremony in Halifax on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca, and we'll have special coverage of Remembrance Day services tonight on CTV News at 5 and 6. We hope you join us. And as we told you here yesterday, in a rare move, Nova Scotia's top judge has weighed in on a public debate over barring poppies in the courtroom. In a statement released Sunday, the justice defends the practice, arguing it helps ensure court neutrality. Still, that hasn't quelled anger among those who see it as disrespectful.
Poppy is a symbol of remembrance, and that's all it is. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with anything else, and absolutely nothing to do with politics.
Perhaps you could ask that a poppy not be worn if they can kind of demonstrate that it shows a lack of neutrality, the veteran versus non-veteran setting. But other than that, that poppies should not be put in the same category as other kinds of political symbols and statements.
The news last week sparked a fiery debate. Even Premier Tim Houston weighed in, saying he would be prepared to introduce legislation protecting workers' rights to wear a poppy. The lawyer for comedic actor Mike Smith is reminding people the case against his client is unproven at this time.
This is an allegation at this point. It hasn't been proven. It'll be tried in the court. It won't be tried in the media. And in the meantime, we ask that the privacy of everyone involved be respected.
All I can do is comment on what this particular file that we have at this time, and that without giving any further information that could identify the complainant, I can confirm that there is one female complainant.
Mike Smith plays the character Bubbles in the Trailer Park Boys. The sexual assault allegation dates back to December 30th, 2017 in Dartmouth. Smith was charged last month. He did not appear in court yesterday. Instead, his lawyer spoke on his behalf. The judge ordered a publication ban on the identity of the complainant. The 53-year-old actor has also been ordered to have no contact with her. A Nova Scotia man has been charged after allegedly barricading himself inside a home in Waverley last month. The 35-year-old from Myers Point is facing a charge of unauthorized possession of a firearm. Police say the suspect did not live in the home and no one else was there at the time. Streets were closed and an emergency alert was issued. The man has been released and will appear in court at a later date. Canada has lost its measles elimination status after more than 25 years, following an outbreak that began in New Brunswick in October of last year. The Pan American Health Organization revoked the status after confirming there has been ongoing transmission of the same strain of measles for more than 1 year. It spread to more than 5,000 people in this country, including some in Nova Scotia and PEI. Experts attribute the return to declining vaccination rates. As Latavia mentioned, it's fairly mild here today, but we all know snow for all of us isn't far off. Safety officials, including the Department of Transportation and the RCMP, are urging motorists to be ready when it does arrive. That includes having snow tires installed.
It's important for people to do it early because, as we know, local garages fill up with appointments, and it's hard once you get past middle of November. It's hard to get those tires on.
Police say too often they deal with crashes caused by drivers trying to be courteous to others by unexpectedly yielding the right-of-way that they don't have. Finally, the Professional Women's Hockey League is coming to Halifax. The league has announced 2 games at the Scotiabank Centre with tickets on sale to the general public next Friday. So on Wednesday, December 17th, that's the first game. It'll be Toronto against Montreal. They'll go to head-to-head at 7:30 p.m. Followed by Ottawa and Boston. They're going to compete on Sunday, January 11th at 1 p.m. There's a look at the poster and the dates. This is part of the PWHL Takeover Tour, which is to give fans a chance to experience the competitiveness of the regular season in their own communities. How exciting is that?
Very exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
So December 17th and January 11th. 2 different dates.
Christmas gift ideas.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. Yeah, maybe an early gift, too. I mean, we have plenty of young hockey players, female hockey players in the region, so that would be nice for them to see.
For sure. Always fun to do things as a family, too. And when you instill those memories in small children, they really last.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
they do.
All right, time to give you some information that you might find interesting. The word of the year has been selected.
Okay.
And if you're like me, you've never heard it before.
Really?
Okay, yeah. The word vibe coding, or words, I guess, vibe coding was just named Collins Dictionary's word of the year. The term refers to an emerging software that turns natural language into computer code using AI. Collins says it's programming by vibes, not variables. The word of the year is picked from a list of words that have emerged in the last year or two most reflect the changing world around us. Guess I need to keep up with the times, ladies, because literally never heard of vibe coding.
Apparently, what I assumed vibe coding would be is not what it is, so.
No, like if you said, what's vibe coding? I'd be like, oh, that must be like picking up on the vibe of the room.
Yeah. Right? But it's something to do with, of course, AI, which is very quickly emerged. It has emerged and it's starting to take over in so many ways. So interesting. Even word of the year now.
Wow, I know. What was the other? Was 6-7 the other one?
It was, I'm not sure if it's Collins Dictionaries.
Dictionary.com. Sorry, I should say 6-7.
Yeah.
Sorry.
6-7. 6-7. Yeah.
We are between the hours of
It's 6-7. Yeah, that's what you do it. Apparently it means nothing. It's just when you hear 6-7, you just go 6-7. It's like an inside joke.
Yeah.
I read an article that stated like once like millennials start using it, it's gonna not be cool anymore and kids will stop.
Let's start using it a lot then because it's, yeah. Anyway, there you go.
That show my parents watch, they're saying it now. I don't want to say it anymore.
Yeah.
The challenge is, let's use vibe coding in a sentence. I don't think I could.
No, I don't think I can either.
Your vibe is coding right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So coding. All right, coming up next, a first look at your national and international news headlines on this Remembrance Day. Also, Latavia will have the very important full look at the forecast on this Remembrance Day. Important before you head out to that cenotaph service a little later. Good morning to you and to Ganesh. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Quite a warm start to this Remembrance Day. 15 degrees in Halifax early this morning. We're taking a live look at Argyle Street. We are expecting precipitation throughout the day. Just be prepared as you head outdoors. Currently seeing mist and a bit of fog. Weather brought to you by ALC.ca, and it is quite warm starting off the day for the Maritime region at least. As of right now, it is 12 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, 16 starting off your day in Charlottetown, 15, as I mentioned, in Halifax, with 13 in Sydney. Bit cooler starting off your day in Labrador City with -5 and 4 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do still have a rainfall warning in effect for most of Cape Breton Island today until Wednesday morning. Seeing rain at times heavy at around 25 to 45 millimeters. This is additional to what we saw even yesterday. Also, a rainfall warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland, seeing significant rainfall between 80 to 130 millimeters. And a wind warning also in effect. Wind gusts could get up to 80 to 110 kilometers per hour. We also have a special weather statement that remains in effect until Wednesday, expecting some heavy snow at around 10 to 20 centimeters. That snowfall warning will end a little bit later this morning, and a freezing rain warning also ending a little bit later this morning. Taking a look at our forecast timeline, you can see that precipitation still tracking across the Maritime region. The heaviest of that rainfall situated into Cape Breton Island and going over to Newfoundland. We are going to see mixed precipitation for much of Labrador today, and we are seeing a bit of isolated flurries and or showers for the northern region of New Brunswick. And then into the afternoon, we will be seeing some clearing, a bit of sunshine into your afternoon, but we do have another round of wet weather heading our way, taking us into the evening, still seeing a chance of showers and or flurries, that heavier rainfall for Newfoundland and mixed precipitation still looming for Labrador. Into early Wednesday morning, we're going to see another messy mix head our way as well. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, this is additional to what we saw yesterday, looking around 5 to 10 millimeters for Prince Edward Island, seeing around 2 to 10 for much of Nova Scotia, and then the heaviest into eastern Nova Scotia and Cape Breton Island today, looking at around 50 to 60 millimeters for North Mountain. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, going to see those totals start to increase as well, taking us into early Wednesday morning. If you're wondering about our snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters across parts of Nova Scotia, and seeing around 5 to 15 for parts of Labrador. Into our forecast today for New Brunswick, we are going to see highs vary today around 2 to 16 degrees, 17 the highest for Miramichi and Moncton. We do have some isolated showers and or flurries across the province today, wind gusts of up to 50. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between 15 to 16 degrees, looking at showers throughout your day, transitions over to rain into the evening. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, much of the same expected. Rain at times heavy with the risk of thunderstorms for parts of that part of the province. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, seeing a bit of sunshine into the Tri-County area, but for the most part, we will be seeing isolated showers and or drizzle throughout the day. And then for Labrador, 3 degrees as your daytime high in Labrador City. Snow expected still throughout the day. 7 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Rain at times heavy expected throughout your day. Into Wednesday's forecast, we're going to see temperatures start to cool back down, becoming below seasonal for our daytime highs. We do still have some snow tracking across Labrador, a messy mix for parts of Newfoundland. And then into Wednesday night, we are going to see another low make its way over, bringing precipitation our way yet again. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. There will be a significant change today at the National Remembrance Day ceremony in Ottawa. Governor General Mary Simon, the Commander-in-Chief of Canada's Armed Forces, will not be able to attend as she recovers in hospital from a respiratory virus. She is said to be doing well. Chief Justice Richard Wagner will attend the ceremony on her behalf. More than 1 million Canadians served in the Second World War, and today only a few thousand remain. CTV's Alex Carpa spoke to some of them about what they want Canadians to know on this Remembrance Day.
102-year-old Percy Rosamond was just 19 when he joined the Royal Canadian Air Force in 1942.
I don't know why, but I enjoyed my time in the Air Force.
He was an aircraft mechanic during the war stationed in England, where he worked on Liberator bombers. Rosamond recalls his brother, who was an air gunner during the war, left England the same day he arrived.
I thought that was quite a novel thing to have happen.
101-year-old Andrew Prodanek was also 19 when he joined the war effort in 1943.
I tried to get into be a pilot, but all the positions were filled because this was near the end of the war, and so I took on navigation.
Prodanek trained in Brandon, Regina, Saskatoon, and ended up in Rivers, Manitoba. By the time his training was complete, the war was over. He says he has fond memories of his time in active duty.
It was very interesting work.
Just never forget.
Both men live at this facility here in Winnipeg and are part of a dwindling number of Second World War veterans in Canada, a conflict where more than 1 million Canadians served. Alex Scarpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Stateside, the U.S. Senate has voted to approve a funding measure to end the longest government shutdown in American history. The bill now goes to the House for approval and then the president. CTV's Joy Malbin has more on the toll it is taking on travel before the deal is done.
Even with the news of a possible shutdown deal, airlines braced for more turbulence. A staggering number of delays and thousands of flights canceled at America's busiest airports after the Trump administration ordered drastic flight reductions for safety reasons.
It was madness, craziness. Everybody was pissed. It was not a pleasant experience at all.
With a shortage of air traffic controllers forced to work without pay or take other jobs to make ends meet, President Donald Trump lashed out, posting, "All air traffic controllers must get back to work now. Anyone who doesn't will be substantially docked."
When the most disciplined safety workforce in America is forced to think about survival instead of public safety, this is the cost.
A breakaway group of Democratic senators joined Republicans to end the shutdown stalemate, saying this is the best deal they could get.
What we have in this bill is the restoration of all the furloughed employees and a guarantee of their back pay. That's a big win for 2 million federal employees.
What they didn't get was what they were holding out for, an extension of expiring Obamacare health care subsidies for millions of Americans. Angry Democrats say they caved.
The American people do not want Democrats to be bullied into submission. They want Democrats to fight for their health care.
The deal secures a promise of a vote on health care, but no guarantee that it will ever happen, leaving Democrats bitterly divided.
They're going to have to explain themselves to their constituents and to the American people.
The shutdown may be winding down, but flight cancellations are still set to ramp up to 10%. And it could be a week or longer before air travel gets back to normal.
CTV's Joy Malbin reporting in Washington. And finally, this week marks 50 years since the storied sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald on Lake Superior, which inspired one of Gordon Lightfoot's most popular songs.
And every man knew as the captain did, to the witch of November comes sailing.
The massive cargo ship and all 29 of its crew perished during a surprise severe storm. Powerful waves and gale force winds battered the vessel and knocked out its radar before it was dragged to the bottom of the lake, carrying thousands of kilograms of iron ore. That was on November 10th, 1975. A quick break. When we return, we'll have your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN, Your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back after this. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
powerful message, and lest we forget.
Absolutely.
It is now 6:25, and time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for we take you to Edmonton. Blue Jackets and Oilers. Connor McDavid skates in, spins around, sending Denton Mateychuk to the ice and rips a backhand past Jeff Breeze. McDavid, unreal movement to create the time and space, and then finishing in McDavid style. One of the best goals of his career. It earns him the must-see moment from Monday. Just continues to impress night after night. And coming up tonight on TSN, we got some NBA action for you. Celtics and 76ers going head-to-head. Coverage for that one gets underway at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast on this Remembrance Day in New Brunswick, we are looking at a daytime high of 8 degrees, seeing showers and or flurries across the province today. And then on Wednesday, mainly sunny skies for much of the province. We do have some scattered flurries yet again, a high of 4. Thursday, we're looking at 6 degrees and a mix of sun and cloud returns across the province. Nova Scotia on Remembrance Day is looking at showers and rain throughout the day into the evening. Flurries and or snow return, a high of 12 today. Cooling down to 5 degrees on Wednesday, looking at some isolated showers and flurries across the province. And then on Thursday, we are going to see a mix of sun and cloud, scattered showers for Cape Breton Island with a high of 7. For Prince Edward Island, we are going to see 15 degrees today, isolated showers, evening rain on Wednesday, mainly cloudy skies with a high of 5. 6 on Thursday, cloudy skies return.
Just ahead in this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. Today, we're talking about memorable Remembrance Day services. That discussion coming up on Your Morning Atlantic. Good morning, everybody. 6:30 Atlantic time. It is Remembrance Day, but I wanted to say it's also my birthday. And fitting that at this very moment I was born. This is
amazing.
This is at the 6:30?
5:30 Eastern time.
Oh, Eastern time.
Wow. Well, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
We're thankful that you're sharing it with us.
I am grateful to be here. And
Happy birthday, Crystal.
Thank you so much. So it's fun that that's the case. My grandfather was born November 11th, 1919, a year after the war ended, but war was very much a part of people's lives that we're still remembering, and it was neat. I lived literally right next door to my grandparents, so every birthday was a shared birthday cake with me and Grandpa Garrett.
Oh, that's so special.
He passed away many years ago, so, you know, shout out to Grandpa Garrett today, and yeah, and just it is Remembrance Day, so it's always a little bit of a, we don't really celebrate today. We kind of save the celebrations for other days because it's a serious day. But you know what? I'm okay with that. It just spreads out the birthday fun.
It really does. And boy, what a day to share with so many veterans as well.
It's an important
special
day.
time.
Remembrance Day is an important day, and I am wearing my poppy. Just want to make sure that you can see. In any case, I know for me, the forecast is so important in how we approach our cenotaph moments.
Absolutely. There are many services outside. We are going to be dealing with some tricky weather today. Light shower activity for the most part for the Maritime region. And it is quite a warm start to the day. Here's a live look at Moncton. Quite dark early this morning. It is 16 degrees in your area, so we are going to see above seasonal daytime highs for the Maritime region, a bit cooler for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, but we do have a messy mix headed our way. Quite light, though, remaining for the Maritime region. 12 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, 16 in Charlottetown with 14 in Halifax, 10 degrees in Yarmouth, 13 in Sydney with 4 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at our rainfall warning that remains in effect for much of Cape Breton Island. Also seeing a rainfall warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland, a wind warning as well. And we do have a special weather statement, snowfall warning, and freezing rain warning across parts of Labrador. Here's a look at that current system tracking across Atlantic Canada. For the Maritimes, much of the Maritimes, we will be seeing some isolated showers and or drizzle today. And then for Cape Breton Island, still seeing rain at times heavy with the risk of thunderstorms. And then for Newfoundland, rain at times heavy will move across much of the province, still seeing snow tracking across Labrador. Wind will continue to pick up throughout the day today for the Maritime region, starting off 50 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 30 into St. John, New Brunswick, 28 in Lunenburg, 22 into Halifax. Wind gusts getting up to 80 kilometers right now in Grand Etang. We're looking at 39 in Halifax, 43 in Canso, 52 in Bathurst and St. John, New Brunswick. I'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. It's worth noting, too, because of the forecast in Lower Sackville, the ceremony there is moving inside the local Legion. Across Atlantic Canada and the country, Canadians will honor those who gave their lives to serve our country today. Whether outside at a cenotaph or inside an arena, Legion, or community center, most Remembrance Day ceremonies in their region will begin at 10:30 a.m. From the last post to 2 minutes of silence, and of course the laying of wreaths. The tributes will honor our veterans and those who continue to serve and protect. For those who can't attend in person, we'll have a live stream of the Grand Parade ceremony in Halifax on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca, and we will have special coverage of Remembrance Day services across the region tonight on CTV News at 5 and 6. Canada has lost its measles elimination status after more than 25 years, following an outbreak that began in New Brunswick in October of last year. The Pan American Health Organization revoked the status after confirming there has been ongoing transmission of the same strain of measles for more than 1 year. It spread to more than 5,000 people in this country, including some in Nova Scotia and PEI. Experts attribute the return to declining vaccination rates. The lawyer for comedic actor Mike Smith is reminding people the case against his client is unproven at this time.
This is an allegation at this point. It hasn't been proven. It'll be tried in the court. It won't be tried in the media. And in the meantime, we ask that the privacy of everyone involved be respected.
All I can do is comment on what this particular file that we have at this time, and that without giving any further information that could identify the complainant, I can confirm that there is one female complainant.
Mike Smith plays the character Bubbles in the Trailer Park Boys. The sexual assault allegation dates back to December 30th, 2017 in Dartmouth. Smith was charged last month. He did not appear in court yesterday. Instead, his lawyer spoke on his behalf. The judge ordered a publication ban on the identity of the complainant. The 53-year-old actor has also been ordered to have no contact with her. While in New Brunswick, Prime Minister Mark Carney promised more support for the province's heavily tariffed lumber industry. CTV's Nick Moore reports.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Prime Minister Mark Carney was in Fredericton today to drum up support for the federal budget. Carney was using Maple Leaf Homes as a backdrop for the federal government's plans to support the tariff-hit softwood lumber industry.
One of the areas for the industry is going to be more Maple Leaf Homes with our hosts and similar companies across the country. Companies that have more than 80% of the product are Canadian. They're buying Canadian softwood, they're fashioning them into homes, and they're building, and we are going to scale that considerably.
The Prime Minister met with New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt earlier today, where softwood lumber was on the agenda, along with the federal government's Community and Health Infrastructure Fund from last week's budget.
Looking to identify for New Brunswick what kind of flexibility exists in those funds to make sure that the Prime Minister and his team members understood the need for flexibility, that one size doesn't fit all in Canada.
We're building one Canadian economy, turbocharged by new infrastructure that connects our regions.
But to date, Ottawa's list of nation-building projects does not include New Brunswick. Carney says, stay tuned.
This is not a one and done. It's not one round of projects and then we move forward with those. This is a living list.
Carney says an announcement of new major national projects will be made on Thursday, but would not confirm if New Brunswick is included. Nick Moore, CTV News, Fredericton.
Thank you, Nick. The Professional Women's Hockey League is coming to Halifax. The league has announced 2 games at the Scotiabank Centre with tickets on sale to the general public next Friday. The first game is Wednesday, December 17th. That will be between Toronto and Montreal. They'll go head-to-head at 7:30 p.m., followed by Ottawa and Boston. They'll play on Sunday, January 11th at 1 p.m. It is part of the PWHL Takeover Tour to give fans a chance to experience the competitiveness of the regular season in their own communities. Finally, a runner from China has set a new 100-meter record in one of the world's most extreme endurance tests in Antarctica. The record-breaking runner finished the Antarctic Ice Ultra in 22 hours, 40 minutes, and 47 seconds. Athletes battled frostbite and exposure, racing in temperatures around minus 15 degrees Celsius during the day.
Wow. Why would you do this?
Because I love a challenge. I said 100-meter. Definitely think it's longer than 100 meters. It's likely 100 kilometers.
100 kilometers.
Yeah.
Either way, it's extreme. Wow. Well, good on you. Good on you.
Look at that.
Very inspiring.
Fantastic.
Wow.
It's just that it looks like the footing, the snow might be so cold that it's kind of like in a way that doesn't slip. You don't slip on it.
Oh yeah, like
because it's footing, packed and kind of almost sandpapery. Interesting. Interesting. Well, good for them.
Ooh-wee. That's cold. That's a different kind of cold.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cold.
Something I would never do. I couldn't do it either. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
I guess that's why we have it on the news, because it's very unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, good on them.
This next story is not the least bit unusual. It's been happening for decades and decades, and people look forward to it. It's the Boston Christmas tree. It gets cut down this week in Nova Scotia. CTV will be there. But another famous Christmas tree is also now in place for the holiday season. You'll recognize it. It's a big one. This giant tree has been installed at Rockefeller Center, which, as you can see, is no small feat. Many New Yorkers say that it's not the holiday season until the Rockefeller tree is in town. The 11-ton, 75-foot Norway spruce will be on display for the next few weeks. When lit, this majestic tree will be adorned with more than 50,000 multicolored lights, about 8 kilometers of wire.
Wow.
The tree will be adorned with a 9-foot, 900-pound Swarovski crystal star.
Wow.
So the official Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting is on December 3rd. I'm happy to say I've seen it in person a couple times. And when I went to see the rocket show for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, all that, it wasn't lit yet.
Oh.
So, yeah, and then we went back another couple years later and I saw it lit.
And what was it like?
It's really cool.
Really
cool. It's worth a look.
My gosh.
I would love to go to New York during the holidays.
I highly recommend it. I mean, I don't know, with the political climate, of course, the prices these days, it would be challenging. But when I did go a few years back, we found a decent hotel. And it was really, everything else was free because you're just like walking around looking at all the sights and sounds.
And if you lose your kid in the city who loves Christmas trees, you know that's where you find them.
Well, exactly. Exactly. And I was afraid to Elf with, oh, it's a big one.
Yeah. Home Alone 2, that's the reference.
There you go.
All right, still ahead, we'll have your entertainment headlines, but coming up next, today is the Move Morning Chat. And today we want you to tell us about the most memorable or moving Remembrance Day service or tribute you've been to or you've seen. That conversation coming up next.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:44. We're taking a live look at a warm start to the day over in Yarmouth. 10 degrees starting off your day. We are expecting clouds to clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon, and then transitioning over to a chance of some scattered showers. So going to be a lovely start to the day over into the Tri-County area. We are going to see mixed precipitation track across parts of Atlantic Canada today as well. As of right now, it is 15 degrees over in Bathurst, 12 starting off your day in Fredericton, 11 into St. John, New Brunswick, 16 degrees early this morning in Charlottetown with 14 in Halifax, 13 in Sydney, and 4 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do still have a rainfall warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island, expecting rain at times heavy at around 25 to 45 millimeters. And then we do have a rainfall warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland until Wednesday morning. Significant rainfall expected, could get up to 130 millimeters. And then that wind warning remains in effect until Wednesday morning, 80 to 110 kilometers per hour expected for our wind gusts. Special weather statement also in effect, expecting heavy snow for parts of Labrador at around 20 centimeters at the heaviest. And then that snowfall warning remains, and that freezing rain is in effect still. Over to our forecast timeline. So as I mentioned, we will be seeing a bit of sunshine over into the southwestern region of Nova Scotia starting off the day. And for the most part, we are going to see isolated showers and or flurries for parts of New Brunswick. Still seeing rain across Prince Edward Island, and still seeing a chance of showers and or drizzle starting off the day for mainland Nova Scotia. Now to eastern Nova Scotia, we are expecting rain, at times heavy, for parts of eastern Nova Scotia and Cape Breton Island, paired with a risk of thunderstorms. That heavier rainfall will move over to Newfoundland, and we are expecting mixed precipitation for the most part for Labrador. Into the afternoon, much of the same, but we will be seeing a bit of clearing for that system, leaving a bit of sunshine across parts of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. Still seeing rain, though, for parts of eastern Nova Scotia and Cape Breton Island, and that heavier rain you can see indicated in that dark green and yellow for Newfoundland. And then Labrador, still dealing with mixed precipitation for the most part. Into the evening, we do have another system right behind this, bringing showers and or flurries for much of the Maritime region. Still seeing heavier rain for Newfoundland and mixed precipitation for Labrador. Then we see into Wednesday morning, some mixed precipitation for the Maritimes. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, it's going to start off quite light. This is additional to what we saw yesterday. Going to see 5 to 10 millimeters expected for parts of Prince Edward Island, the heaviest being eastern Nova Scotia and Cape Breton, heaviest 60 millimeters expected for North Mountain. Over to Newfoundland and Labrador, going to see those totals increase as well. The heaviest being into Happy Valley Goose Bay at around 40 to 50 for Labrador, and then 40 to 80 for parts of Newfoundland. Our snowfall outlook, only seeing 1 to 5 centimeters for parts of Nova Scotia and 5 to 15 for Labrador. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick, we are going to see a chance of showers and or flurries throughout the day today, wind gusts of up to 50. And then for Prince Edward Island, showers transition over to rain into the evening. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at rain, at times heavy, with a risk of thunderstorms for parts of this part of the province. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, seeing a bit of sunshine for the Tri-County area, but also seeing a chance of showers return. Then for Newfoundland and Labrador, 3 degrees for Labrador City, snow expected throughout your day, 7 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, rain at times heavy expected. Wednesday's forecast, temperatures will be cooling down. We will be seeing some sunshine return for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Snow tracks across much of Labrador, mixed precipitation for Newfoundland. And then into Wednesday evening, another low makes its way over, bringing some wet weather yet again for parts of the maritime region. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat.
It's the Move Morning Chat, and on this Remembrance Day, we are talking about a Remembrance Day service that you attended that really left a mark on your heart, or we'd like to hear about where you are going to be spending Remembrance Day to honor our veterans. Aaron and Peter, let's start with you two.
Yeah, I'd love to mention something I saw just this past weekend in Halifax, and maybe if you were in the city as well, you would have seen this, but I just love the special Remembrance Day light projection show that happens in downtown Halifax. It's incredible, and they do this every year. The Downtown Halifax Business Commission puts this on, and it just kicked off over the weekend. You find it at the old Halifax Library right at Grafton Park, and it runs all weekend long, and it was on last night, and it's just a really, really special way to display that Remembrance Day show, and it's just something that I think is great. And if you're ever in the Halifax area, something to go check out every year, because they do a really fantastic job of it.
And there's one specific Remembrance Day that comes back into my memory quite often, and maybe even more so over the years. It was a long time ago, and it was in Parsboro, my hometown. There's a cenotaph there right beside the old post office in Parsboro. And I remember this particular Remembrance Day because it was freezing rain. It was so cold. And looking back, what I remember, and what I didn't think about at the time, was that there were still World War I veterans who were standing there in the freezing rain at the same time, along with World War II veterans and veterans from the Korean War. And we were playing in a band. Our band, the Citizens Band in Parsboro, would play every Remembrance Day as part of that ceremony. But I think what an honor now to look back on that and think, yeah, there were World War I veterans as well as the World War II veterans, but the fact that there are folks there who had fought between 1914 and 1918 in my memory, and somehow it doesn't seem that long ago.
Oh, just unbelievable. What a memory to stand alongside them, Peter. I think about 2012. I was a radio reporter, fresh out of school, working in St. John, and they have an incredible ceremony every year at the TD station. Back then it was still called the Harbor Station, and it is a beautiful Station. It's where a lot of concerts are played. It's where the Sea Dogs play. And so they have tons of seating. So no matter the weather, because we know Remembrance Day can be, as you mentioned, Peter, bitterly cold. You can have freezing rain. You can have snow. You can have just very cold rain. So it's so nice to be inside this big, beautiful center. They do beautiful technical tributes as well, beautiful marching bands too. And everyone's just very comfortable in these seatings. And it's an hour and a half. I cried. It was such a special moment in my heart as a reporter and just being there in attendance. And I think about just how lucky St. John is to have that ceremony at TD Station.
Absolutely. For me, remembering a significant day of remembrance for me was back when I was in journalism school.
Right.
We had veterans come in, and not only did we have a service for them, but we also got to sit down individually and interview the veterans. And hearing those stories really impacted me, and I couldn't believe the things that they were willing to share, really.
Wow.
Absolutely incredible.
So now we're turning over to our viewers. We're asking you to tell us about the most memorable Remembrance Day service you've been to, or you can tell us where you will be participating in Remembrance Day ceremonies today. Please send us a text. 10400 is the number. We will share your answers later in the show.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:55. We're going to head over to Hollywood and take a look at your entertainment headlines.
One of the most iconic pieces of movie memorabilia is going up for sale. The pointed hat worn by the Wicked Witch of the West, played by Margaret Hamilton in the original Wizard of Oz, will be offered up by Heritage Auctions on December 9th. Last year, that same auction house sold a pair of the film's ruby slippers for $28 million. Vince Gill is now slated to receive the Willie Nelson Lifetime Achievement Award at next week's Country Music Awards. Gill already has 18 CMA awards to his name. The ceremony kicks off in Nashville on November 19th on ABC.
Whatever magic was there is just dead.
Nothing like Christmas to help a family rediscover its magic.
We're all counting down the days until the holidays, and so are the Jonas Brothers. Their holiday special, A Very Jonas Christmas, comes out this Friday, and ABC News caught up with the trio.
To make a project like this with Disney Plus, where we get to just have fun, try to make people feel good, and it's something for the whole family to enjoy, is really meaningful for us.
A Very Jonas Christmas movie premieres Friday on Disney Plus and Hulu. And happy birthday to Leonardo DiCaprio. The former teen heartthrob and Oscar-winning actor is 51. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Happening now in local news, it is Remembrance Day. Canadians will take a moment today to honor our veterans and those who continue to serve our country. Plus, measles is one of the world's most contagious diseases, but low vaccination rates have led to Canada losing its measles-free status by the Pan American Health Organization. We'll have more details. Plus, some good news for hockey fans. The PWHL is bringing 2 games to Halifax in December and in January. Those details coming up, but a quick break. We'll be right back. It's Tuesday, November 11th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, lest we forget, Canadians will honor those who gave their lives to serve our country on this Remembrance Day. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And supporting veterans. We'll speak with Vets Canada about the work they do to help people transitioning from military to civilian life. That conversation coming up on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday. Currently 7 o'clock, about to turn 7:01, and we are honoring Remembrance Day today. We thank all those who have served our country, and there will be many celebrations and ceremonies happening across Atlantic Canada today. So we are going to talk about the weather. That's very important if you are heading out. Outdoor events, it's going to be quite warm for the Maritime region, but we are expecting some isolated showers either 30 to 60% chance of shower activity for much of the Maritime region. Here's a live look at Bedeque. 15 degrees starting off your day, so quite warm. We are expecting periods of rain with the risk of thunderstorms. Wind will pick up into the afternoon, and they are currently under a rainfall warning right now. Parts of Nova Scotia will be under a rainfall warning. I'll have more on that in just a second. But as you can see here, 12 degrees in Fredericton early this morning, 16 in Charlottetown with 14 in Halifax, 13 in Sydney, -5 in Labrador City with 4 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at that rainfall warning in effect for most of Cape Breton Island until Wednesday morning, still experiencing some heavier rainfall there. We do have that rainfall warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland as well as a wind warning. And for Labrador, looking at a special weather statement, a snowfall warning and a freezing rain warning. Over to our satellite and radar. So either isolated showers and/or flurries or scattered showers. Periods of rain at times heavy expected for Cape Breton Island, parts of eastern Nova Scotia, but that shower activity for the Maritime region will remain quite light. Now, Newfoundland and Labrador seeing that heavier snowfall and that heavier rain expected throughout your day. In terms of the wind, it is going to start off light, pick up into the afternoon. Right now, we are seeing sustained wind, 50 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, with 28 in Lunenburg, 30 into St. John, New Brunswick, and 31 in Canso. Wind gusts at this time getting up to 80 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, looking at 35 in Miramichi and Moncton, 52 in St. John, New Brunswick. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast, but first, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Across Atlantic Canada and the country today, Canadians will honor those who gave their lives to serve our country. Whether outside at a cenotaph or inside an arena, Legion, or community center, most Remembrance Day ceremonies in our region will begin at 10:30 a.m. From the last post to 2 minutes of silence and the laying of wreaths, many tributes will honor our veterans and those who continue to serve and protect. For those who can't attend in person, we will have a live stream of the Grand Parade ceremony in Halifax on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. And we will have special coverage of Remembrance Day services tonight on CTV News at 5 and 6. We hope you'll join us. When you spend a career in the Canadian Armed Forces, you make deep connections with the people you serve with. CTV's Derek Haggett met one veteran who has a special way of showing his appreciation for those he served with.
297 crosses, one each for someone Donnie Kapler bonded with while in the Army.
I was going to do a little cross for each member of the forces that I lived with and shared life with that passed away. But that was unattainable.
After a 25-year career, the former Sergeant Major retired in 1985 with a lifetime of memories and friendships. The display, a tribute to them and those who died in war or training missions. Now 82, Kapler gets help from his neighbors who set it all up.
I had a little plan drawn out, what goes where, and the measurements were all done. So they just took a measuring tape and a rope, and away they went.
His neighbors would do anything for him.
Donnie's done all the work to get it organized, so it's very easy to do and help him, and there's no better person to help than Donnie.
Kapler and his wife June backpacked through Europe years ago, visiting 152 military cemeteries.
It's a dedication, and it's difficult to understand what they went through until you've seen it.
People have been stopping by to take pictures and pay their respects, and that's just fine with Kapler.
Yesterday, for example, there was probably 8 or 10 cars that actually stopped, and I talked to 3 or 4 different people.
He says it shows the respect is still there. Donnie Kapler says the display will be taken down the day after Remembrance Day, but if anyone wants to come out and see it for themselves here in the Royal Oak subdivision, they're more than welcome to. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
And we thank Mr. Kaplan for his service. To other news of the morning, the lawyer for comedic actor Mike Smith is reminding people the case against his client is unproven at this time.
This is an allegation at this point. It hasn't been proven. It'll be tried in the court. It won't be tried in the media. And in the meantime, we ask that the privacy of everyone involved be respected.
All I can do is comment on what this particular file that we have at this time, and that without giving any further information that could identify the complainant, I can confirm that there is one female complainant.
Mike Smith plays the character Bubbles in the Trailer Park Boys. The sexual assault allegation dates back to December 30th, 2017 in Dartmouth. Smith was charged last month. He did not appear in court yesterday. Instead, his lawyer spoke on his behalf. The judge ordered a publication ban on the identity of the complainant. The 53-year-old actor has also been ordered to have no contact with her. Canada has lost its measles elimination status after more than 25 years following an outbreak that started in New Brunswick in October of last year. The Pan American Health Organization revoked the status after confirming there has been ongoing transmission of the same strain of measles for more than 1 year. It spread to more than 5,000 people in Canada, including some in Nova Scotia and PEI. Experts attribute the return to declining vaccination rates. We'll have more on this in international news coming up at 7:15. Finally, the Professional Women's Hockey League is coming to Halifax. It's coming to Halifax for 2 games. The league has announced those 2 games at the Scotiabank Centre, with tickets going on sale to the general public next Friday. So here are the dates. The first game, it's Wednesday, December 17th. That will be between Toronto and Montreal. They will go head-to-head at 7:30 p.m. And the second game, it will be Ottawa against Boston. That game will be on Sunday, January 11th. It's in the afternoon at 1 p.m. This is part of the PWHL Takeover Tour to give fans a chance to experience the competitiveness of the regular season in their own communities.
Very exciting.
What an opportunity.
That's going to be fun to see that high level of play here in the region.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
All right. Well, guess what? Turns out Napoleon lost more than just the battle back in 1815. A brooch was seized from the French emperor when he abandoned carriages of personal belongings to get away from opposing armies. There it is.
Wow.
It's beautiful. It's now being auctioned off along with other diamonds worth tens of millions of dollars at Sotheby's annual Royal and Noble Jewels sale in Geneva. It's Wednesday. If you're interested, you can get a bit of the glowing rose. Yes, please. The brooch is expected to sell for between $100,000 and $250,000 US, but we can take a little quick peek at some of the other jewels up for auction. Remember, this is Wednesday, everybody, if you want to get your
just pennies
out. Wow.
It is your birthday, Crystal.
It is my birthday. These
Frost yourself.
Even if the fake versions of these things are you know, probably worth a lot of money. This is gorgeous.
No, you deserve the very best.
The very best.
do.
Yeah.
That brooch is real diamonds.
I can't believe it.
Each one is humongous. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, very cool.
Save it for special occasions or wear it every day.
Every day, sure. If I guess I had it, I'd wear it a fair bit.
I mean, it's forever.
Nobody would think it was real.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Is that real? No. Okay, still ahead, Latavia. We'll have another full look at the forecast on this Remembrance Day. Plus, I'll have your national news headlines. We're taking a live look at Moncton this morning. We'll be right back. The service there happening at the Avenir Center. So inside for you.
Welcome back, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7:12. We're taking a live look at Lunenburg. 12 degrees starting off your day. We are expecting a chance of showers throughout the day, though, something to keep in mind if you are headed out in that area today. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca, and we are seeing a warmer start to the day above seasonal temperatures for our daytime highs as well for the Maritime region. As of right now, 15 degrees in Bathurst as well as into Moncton. 15 starting off your day in Charlottetown with 14 in Halifax and Sydney. 4 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to the rainfall warning that remains in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island. We are expecting rain at times heavy, around 25 to 45 millimeters. And then a rainfall warning also in effect for much of Newfoundland, looking at significant rainfall, 80 to 130 millimeters, with the wind warning also in effect. Wind gusts could get up to 110 kilometers per hour. A special weather statement remains in effect. We are expecting heavy snow for parts of Labrador. That snowfall warning still holding on, as well as a freezing rain warning. Over to our forecast timeline. So we are going to see a little bit of a clear out of that precipitation for parts of the Maritime region, as you can see here across Prince Edward Island, mainland Nova Scotia into the Tri-County area, parts of New Brunswick. And we are also going to see some precipitation remain, looking at a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of New Brunswick, a chance of showers for parts of Nova Scotia. And we do have some heavier rainfall indicated for parts of eastern Nova Scotia into Cape Breton Island, paired with a risk of thunderstorms. The heaviest of this system will be situated over to Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing mixed precipitation into Labrador. And for Newfoundland, rain at times heavy expected throughout your day today. Into the afternoon, clouds start to clear out a bit, leaving a bit more sunshine. Our daytime highs will be quite above seasonal and then starting to drop and becoming cooler into later this afternoon. Now, another system right behind it is going to bring precipitation back across the Maritime region into this evening, bringing mixed precipitation back as well into early Wednesday morning. If you are wondering about our rainfall totals, we are going to see light amounts across New Brunswick, only around 5 to 10 millimeters of additional precipitation for parts of Prince Edward Island. The heaviest we are expecting is into parts of Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia. Same thing goes for Newfoundland and Labrador. We will be seeing those totals increase, an additional 40 to 50 millimeters for Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and looking at 60 to 80 for parts of Newfoundland. Over to our snowfall outlook, looking at around 1 to 5 centimeters for parts of Nova Scotia, and then seeing around 5 to 15 for parts of Labrador. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. A chance of showers and or flurries across the province today. Wind gusts of up to 50. Daytime highs really begin to warm up above seasonal for the most part. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between 15 to 16 degrees today. Looking at showers, transitioning over to evening rain. Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, rain at times heavy for parts of this part of the province. We are seeing a risk of thunderstorms as well, wind gusts of up to 50. And then the rest of Nova Scotia, we will be seeing a bit of sunshine into the Tri-County area starting off the day, seeing a chance of showers remain for this part of the province as well. For Newfoundland and Labrador, the heavier of that system, we are going to see 3 degrees in Labrador City with heavy snow expected, heavy rain for St. John's with a high of 7. Into Wednesday's forecast, we will be seeing sunshine return for the Maritime region, still seeing a messy mix for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Another system moves in right behind that. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. There will be a significant change today at the National Remembrance Day ceremony in Ottawa. Governor General Mary Simon, the Commander-in-Chief of Canada's Armed Forces, will not be able to attend as she recovers in hospital from a respiratory virus. She is said to be doing well. Chief Justice Richard Wagner will attend the ceremony on her behalf. Back to measles. The rapid spread of measles in this country over the past year can be traced to a single case. CTV's Heather Wright has more on how we got here and the road ahead.
Public health officials say Canada's measles outbreak began on October 27, 2024, when an international traveler attended a wedding in New Brunswick. Guests at that wedding then went home to southwestern Ontario, where an outbreak began among the close-knit Mennonite community. The virus then began to spread throughout the country, mainly among the unvaccinated.
The dominant emotion I have is sadness.
James Talbot is a former chief medical officer of health in Alberta and worked on eliminating measles in the 1990s. He says the tools to rein in the spread of the virus are there, but aren't being used in every part of the country.
If we really want to respond properly to this loss of the elimination status, we need to strengthen public health across the country, but in particular in Ontario and Alberta.
Alberta and Ontario have struggled to control the spread of the virus. Combined, they represent 84% of all cases. Ontario's outbreak was declared over last month, while Alberta most recently reported 2 cases. Increasing vaccination rates, strengthening public health measures like contact tracing, and creating a national vaccine database are among some of the recommendations for Canadian officials. But during a time of political polarization, vaccine hesitancy, and vaccine misinformation, experts say it could be a long road.
I think we have a tolerant approach to people who have very good reasons for not getting vaccinated. And if that approach is maintained, then we will have vulnerable geographies in the country. And that's something we're going to have to live with.
Canada can regain its measles elimination status once transmission of the virus has stopped for at least 12 months. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Thank you, Heather. Another break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, Crystal will have a conversation with the head of Vets Canada. That's after this break.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. It's 7:21, and it is Remembrance Day, a time to honor those who have served and continue to serve to defend peace. And today we're highlighting an organization that started in Halifax and supports people who are transitioning from military to civilian life. Joining us this morning is Debbie Lowther, the CEO and co-founder of Vets Canada. Good morning, Debbie. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us more about the work that Vets Canada does year-round.
So we are an organization who, when we first started, our main focus was veterans experiencing homelessness. Over the years, we've kind of expanded that to include those that are at risk of becoming homeless or in crisis in other ways. So, you know, folks experiencing food insecurity, you know, at risk of being evicted from their home, that sort of thing. So
I think a lot of people who haven't served, myself included, don't understand the challenges of what it would be like to transition from the military to civilian life. What are people telling you about that experience?
Well, what we see is that, you know, serving in the military is not just a job. It's a culture, it's a way of life, and a lot of people, when they release, they feel a loss of identity. You know, because it is, I mean, they have their own language even. So, and they don't feel, I think, in lots of cases, understood really in civilian life. And then a lot of the other issues are delays in receiving benefits once they release. You know, if there's any gap in time there between, you know, leaving the military and other benefits kicking in, you know, things can get pretty dicey in between there.
Yes, that's for sure. So how do you support people in that situation?
So in that situation, if it's somebody who is just releasing, we would be able to help out with, say, a rent payment or, you know, utility bill or provide food or something like that to, you know, just to help get them over that hump.
It's a real lifeline for people, the work you're doing. How do you get your funding?
So we get some funding from the government, not enough, however, and donations, kind, caring Canadians.
I know something that you've been in your new location on Main Street in Dartmouth for just basically a few months. You have a beautiful mural on the side. How's the community responding to that?
Oh, it's been amazing. People drive by and actually stop and take pictures of it. You know, and we were kind of unsure when we put it there, but it's really, you know, brightened up the building.
We're seeing interiors of the space now. You've done a hard work to renovate it, and we saw some shelving of food. I know that the food bank is an important service you offer. Can you speak more to that?
Yeah, so we noticed a big increase year over year in what we were spending on grocery cards. So we decided that we'd open the community pantry, and it's been, I hate to use the word successful because, you know, when you have a lot of people relying on a food bank, that's not really success. But since opening in March, we've supported almost 50 veterans, and including family members. We're at like 120 individuals. We run it like a grocery store, so it's not, you know, come in and receive a box of food. You can choose what you like. We have a little shopping cart. You can go through and pick what you like.
Okay, so I've got two questions for you because we've only got less than a minute. One, if people are watching right now and they are veterans or, you know, family members of veterans, they need support, how do they reach out to you?
They can reach out to us through our website, which is vetscanada.org. And then there we will have our 24/7 toll-free phone number. Can get to us through social media. Yeah.
Well, we'll put all that on our website so people can access it there as well. And then also, if people are watching and they want to support the work that you're doing, how do we do that?
So donations can be made, cash donations can be made through our website, vetscanada.org. Or food donations are always appreciated also. So, you know, food drives are appreciated. And we are at 211 Main Street, so if people want to pop by and drop off some food donations, that would be great. And even if people just want to come by and see the food pantry.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. Well, Debbie, really appreciate you coming in today. How will you be marking Remembrance Day yourself?
I will be going to Remembrance Day ceremony at Sullivan's Pond.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks.
And we have put all that information about Vets Canada on our website. Now we're going to turn our attention over to Latavia, who'll have the forecast.
Thanks, Crystal. Taking a look at New Brunswick first on Remembrance Day, a high of 8 degrees today. Showers and flurries across the province today. And then into Wednesday, a high of 4. Mainly sunny skies. We do have scattered flurries returning. And then on Thursday, a high of 6, a mix of sun and cloud. Nova Scotia will be looking at a high of 12 degrees on Remembrance Day today. Periods of showers and or rain. Into the evening, flurries and or showers continue across the province. And then on Wednesday, looking at a high of 5. We do have isolated showers and or flurries across the province yet again. And on Thursday, looking at a high of 7, we do have a mix of sun and cloud for much of the province, seeing scattered showers for parts as well. Prince Edward Island's looking at a high of 15 degrees. Isolated showers transitions over to periods of rain into the evening. Wednesday, we're looking at mainly cloudy skies, and on Thursday, cloudy with a high of 6.
Coming up this half hour, Wartime Memories. We visit the Nova Scotia Archives to preview its extensive collection of wartime posters used to recruit soldiers. That's coming up in about 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. Come on in halfway through the show on this Remembrance Day. It's November 11th. We're so glad you're able to join us today. We have lots of interviews and features to mark Remembrance Day. The Move Morning Chat today is letting us know about a memorable Remembrance Day ceremony. Maybe you could even let us know how you're planning to mark the day. We'd love that. Text us at 10400. Yeah, so I can see you're wearing your poppy dress.
I know.
There you pull it out. We love it.
Yeah, I think it's every Remembrance Day I typically wear this dress because I just think it's very fitting and suitable, of course. But yeah, many of us, of course, wearing our poppies this morning, as we have been since the beginning of November. And at just after 11 o'clock, be laying these poppies on a wreath at your local cenotaph service as well. And I'm happy to hear the weather, for the most part, is on our side today. I think everyone has a story about going out to a Remembrance Day service where it is freezing rain, or it is bitterly cold, or it's perhaps snowing. Like, you never know what you're going to get on November 11th. I'm so fortunate that today, I know there are some scattered showers, but at least it's mild.
It's very mild.
Absolutely.
Unseasonably mild, I'd say.
It's quite warm starting off the day. Will remain so into the early afternoon. Temperatures will cool a bit down. But yeah, we're getting a reprieve from some of this precipitation, which is great. Here's a live look at Chester early this morning. 12 degrees starting off your day. We do have a chance of showers throughout the day as well, around a 60% chance of it happening, and wind gusts of up to 50. This is pretty much on par with what we are expecting for most of the Maritime region. 11 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, with 15 in Charlottetown, 14 in Halifax and Sydney, 4 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have that rainfall warning in effect for most of Cape Breton Island. We do also have a rainfall warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland, a wind warning in effect as well, with a special weather statement, snowfall warning, and freezing rain warning for parts of Labrador. Here's a look at that current system tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada. We are going to see a bit of a reprieve from that precipitation for the most part, but we are still seeing a chance of showers, chance of flurries for parts of the region, that heavier rain for parts of Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia, and that heavier part of the system for both Newfoundland and Labrador. Wind will pick up yet again today. As of right now, we are seeing a sustained wind, 39 kilometers per hour in Canso, 33 into St. John, New Brunswick, 26 in Lunenburg, 28 in Grand Etang and in Sydney. Wind gusts at this time getting up to 52 in Canso and in St. John, New Brunswick, 43 in Grand Manan, 41 in Sydney and Moncton. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast coming up, but first a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. And across the region and the country, Canadians will honor those who gave their lives to serve. Whether outside at a cenotaph or inside an arena, legion, or community center, most Remembrance Day ceremonies in our region will begin at 10:30 a.m. From the last post to 2 minutes of silence and the laying of wreaths, the tributes will honor our veterans and those who continue to serve and protect. For those who can't attend in person, we will have a live stream of the Grand Parade ceremony in Halifax on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca, and we will have special coverage of Remembrance Day services tonight on CTV News at 5 and 6. We hope you join us. And as we told you yesterday, in a rare move, Nova Scotia's top judge has weighed in on a public debate over barring poppies in the courtroom. In a statement released Sunday, the justice defends the practice, arguing it helps ensure court neutrality. Still, that hasn't quelled anger among those who see it as disrespectful.
Poppy is a symbol of remembrance, and that's all it is. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with anything else, and absolutely nothing to do with politics.
Perhaps you could ask that a poppy not be worn if they can kind of demonstrate that it shows a lack of neutrality, the veteran versus non-veteran setting. But other than that, that poppy should not be put in the same category as other kinds of political symbols and statements.
The news last week sparked a fiery debate. Even Premier Tim Houston weighed in, saying he would be prepared to introduce legislation protecting workers' rights to wear a poppy. The lawyer for comedic actor Mike Smith is reminding people the case against his client is unproven at this time.
This is an allegation at this point. It hasn't been proven. It'll be tried in the court. It won't be tried in the media. And in the meantime, we ask that the privacy of everyone involved be respected.
All I can do is comment on what this particular file that we have at this time, and that without giving any further information that could identify the complainant, I can confirm that there is one female complainant.
Mike Smith plays the character Bubbles in the Trailer Park Boys. The sexual assault allegation dates back to December 30th, 2017 in Dartmouth. Smith was charged last month. He did not appear in court yesterday. Instead, his lawyer spoke on his behalf. The judge ordered a publication ban on the identity of the complainant. The 53-year-old actor has also been ordered to have no contact with her. A Nova Scotia man has been charged after allegedly barricading himself inside a home in Waverley last month. The 35-year-old from Myers Point is facing a charge of unauthorized possession of a firearm. Police say the suspect did not live in the home and no one else was there at the time. Streets were closed and an emergency alert was issued. The man has been released and will appear in court at a later date. Canada has lost its measles elimination status after more than 25 years, following an outbreak that began in New Brunswick in October of last year. The Pan American Health Organization revoked the status after confirming there has been ongoing transmission of the same strain of measles for more than 1 year. It spread to more than 5,000 people in Canada, including some in Nova Scotia and PEI. Experts attribute the return to declining vaccination rates. As Latavia mentioned, it is mild here today, but we all know snow for all of us isn't far off. Safety officials, including the Department of Transportation and the RCMP, are urging motorists to be ready when the snow does arrive. That includes having snow tires installed.
It's important for people to do it early because, as we know, local garages fill up with appointments, and it's hard once you get past middle of November. It's hard to get those tires on.
Police say too often they deal with crashes caused by drivers trying to be courteous to others by unexpectedly yielding the right-of-way that they don't have. The Professional Women's Hockey League is coming to Halifax. The league has announced 2 games at the Scotiabank Centre with tickets on sale to the general public next Friday. So the first game will be Wednesday, December 17th. That will be Toronto versus Montreal. They will go head-to-head at 7:30 p.m. And the second game will be Ottawa versus Boston. That will be on Sunday, January 11th at 1 p.m. It's part of the PWHL Takeover Tour to give fans a chance to experience the competitiveness of the regular season in their own communities. Finally, Christmas came early on London's Carnaby Street as it switched on its festive lights for the season. How beautiful is that? And a big celebration, too. The installation lights up the popular tourist spot. And the theme this year, it's very fitting. All is bright is the theme.
Oh, beautiful.
Perfect.
Yeah, it is a beautiful spot. I was fortunate enough to be there years ago, but not during the holiday season. So there wasn't this beautiful light installation. I mean, it was beautiful anyway. But just look at how spectacular.
It's awesome. Europe does it up for Christmas, and it usually starts in like November, which is neat. I've been to Europe a couple times in that time frame, and I love it because it's awesome because it's all this Christmas stuff, but also like it's off season, so you just like walk right into the Eiffel Tower or into the Louvre.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the Louvre might have tougher security.
Yeah, it's true. We didn't just walk right in. Oh, and when we walked in, we didn't leave with millions of dollars worth of jewels either. But yeah. It's a good time of year to go to Europe.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of, here's another story that proves winter is well on its way. Shepherds in the Czech region of Bohemia endured a multi-day trek this week as they drove their sheep and goats to winter pastures. And for shepherds across Europe, late autumn is a time to move their herds from rich summer grazing areas, usually on higher ground, to sheltered winter pastures before the cold weather season. So it's just kind of neat to see that this still happens in 2025.
Follow me.
Now let's count them. No, don't. You'll fall asleep.
Look at them jumping over the little fence.
I know.
Adorable.
Oh, that's adorable. We saw also, Crystal and I saw the Wizard of Oz up Neptune.
Yes.
On Friday night, just a quick shout out to Neptune. It was an incredible show.
Yes.
Toto they were all great, but like Toto really stole the show.
MVP.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you need to see it. It's the holiday show this year. Dorothy. Whoa.
What a voice.
What a voice. What an actress.
We laughed so hard when the lion did that joke where he said, "I'm scared to count sheep because I'm scared of sheep."
Yeah, exactly.
That's not how the quote goes exactly.
But no, it's really, really good. Yeah, Toto is a real dog.
I know, incredible.
Yeah.
I'm so sad I fell asleep before I could even get out the door.
Listen,
woke up at 11, I was like, no!
Hashtag mom of twins life. Anyway, you'll get your chance to get your chance. We gotta take a break.
Yeah, there's still time. All right, stick with us. Coming up after our break, a piece of war history. We'll head to the Nova Scotia archives. That's coming up next on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic and after Latavia's forecast.
Welcome back. The time now is 7:44. We're taking a live look at a warm start to the day over in Charlottetown. Currently 15 degrees in your area, very cloudy start to the day. We are expecting a chance of some isolated showers to return late into this afternoon in your area. So we are seeing a warm start to the day for much of the Maritime region, a bit cooler starting off your day for both Newfoundland and Labrador. But as of right now, 11 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton, 14 in Halifax and Sydney, -5 in Labrador City, 1 degree in Happy Valley Goose Bay, 4 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Still holding on to that rainfall warning for parts of Cape Breton Island. This morning until Wednesday morning, we're experiencing rain at times heavy, around 45 millimeters at its heaviest. And then for parts of Newfoundland, we're looking at a significant rainfall warning in effect. Could see precipitation get up to 130 millimeters. With a wind warning also in effect for parts of the province, 110 kilometers per hour for wind gusts. A special weather statement also in effect with a snowfall warning and freezing rain warning for parts of Labrador. Here's a look at that system tracking across the region. So as I had mentioned, a warm start to the day for the Maritime region. We are seeing a bit of reprieve from that precipitation for parts of all 3 Maritime provinces. We will be seeing clouds clear, leaving a bit of sunshine into the afternoon. Newfoundland and Labrador, that is not the case though. They are dealing with some heavy snow and heavy rain. And into the afternoon for the Maritime region, we will be seeing still some heavier rainfall for parts of eastern Nova Scotia and Cape Breton Island, but seeing sunshine return into the afternoon for parts of the Maritimes. And then into the evening, another system makes its way over, bringing us mixed precipitation for parts of all 3 Maritime provinces yet again. If you are wondering about precipitation totals, it's going to remain quite light for New Brunswick as well as much of Prince Edward Island, only seeing around 5 to 10 millimeters for Charlottetown. And then that heavier rainfall still situated for parts of eastern Nova Scotia and Cape Breton Island. Going to see totals accumulate as well for Newfoundland and Labrador, going to be at its heaviest for these 2 provinces today. And then for a snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall accumulation for parts of Nova Scotia, looking at around 5 to 15 centimeters for parts of Labrador. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, we will be seeing a chance of showers and flurries for parts of the province. Wind gusts getting up to 50 kilometers per hour. Pretty warm day ahead. We are also going to see daytime high 15 to 16 degrees for Prince Edward Island. Showers transition over to periods of rain into the evening. Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, also going to see rain with a risk of thunderstorms, wind gusts of up to 50 as well. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, seeing daytime highs range from 12 to 17 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud for the southwestern region, looking at a chance of showers on and off throughout the day. And then for Labrador, we are looking at a high of 3 degrees in Labrador City, heavy snowfall today and heavy rain for St. John's, Newfoundland, a high of 7. Wednesday, we are going to see sunshine return for parts of all 3 Maritime provinces. Parts of Newfoundland also seeing a bit of sunshine, but we do have snow still tracking across parts of Labrador, mixed precipitation for Newfoundland. And then into Wednesday evening, we are going to see another system make its way over, bringing showers, and also going to see a messy mix headed our way yet again. That's a look at your weather forecast. Now we'll head over to the Nova Scotia archives to take a look at some wartime history.
I'm John McLeod, the manager of the Nova Scotia Archives on University Avenue, and we're here this morning looking at some of the documents related to the First World War that are found in our collections. In the collection of posters that we have, there are about 130 of these wartime posters. We usually think of the posters in terms of recruiting and promoting the idea that people should join the Army or the Navy or whatever. And certainly the recruitment posters are a big part of the collection of posters here. This particular one is interesting because it's actually particular to Nova Scotia. It's recruiting for the Pictou County unit of the Highlanders. It's the image is from 1914, but the actual recruitment activity was in 1916. But it's also interesting that it's specific. It's the only one in the collection that's specific for a regiment and specific for Pictou. So that the fact that they have survived is significant, and that people fought enough of them to keep them gives us the legacy that we can share with everyone today. The posters are one thing that is found in our collection, but what we're also really happy that people have given us over time are letters home to Nova Scotians. We're very proud to be able to have some of these letters with us where it's people in the trenches in Europe writing back to their families in Halifax or elsewhere in the province. And you pick up the individual insight of what was going on in their minds, what the family wanted to keep them appraised of and keep them up to date on. And you get the this particular poignant one where one of the letters is after the person died, and it's a colleague writing to the family and giving them some of the circumstances. The families felt enough about these to keep them over generations, and then secondly, feeling they were important enough that they should share them with the whole province. And we're very happy that over time, many families have given us these mementos of their family and their contributions to the First World War and to the nation. We invite everyone interested in this to come down to the archives sometime and just ask to see some of the materials. There's more posters, there's more letters home from people in the trenches, and there's also an incredible newspaper collection that you can follow day by day what is going on in Europe.
Health and medical news now. A new study suggests many people with irregular heartbeats may no longer need to take blood thinners. It is one of the topics in Your Health. The study, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, says those who have undergone successful corrective procedures for irregular heartbeats may not have to commit to the long-term therapy. The international study, co-led by Canadian researchers, involved more than 1,200 patients who had undergone an ablation for atrial fibrillation. They say the discovery could potentially alter the clinical care of millions of people around the world. Nearly 900,000 Peloton bikes are now being recalled because of a falling risk. Nearly 45,000 bikes in Canada are affected. They're being pulled over faulty seat posts that can break and detach during use, creating a fall and injury hazard. While there are no reports of incidents in Canada, there have been at least 2 that resulted in injuries in the U.S. The affected bikes were sold from 2020 through to April of this year. Finally, there are certain studies that coffee lovers, love, and this is one of them. Drinking several cups of caffeinated coffee or tea a day may protect against type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, and stroke. The findings, published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, add to existing research, suggesting that daily coffee drinkers have better heart health than non-drinkers, provided they don't drink too much caffeine. Drinking 2 to 3 cups of coffee or up to 3 cups of tea a day was the sweet spot, according to the research.
We have no milestones to pass along for you today, but if you'd like to see previously aired milestones or find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Milestones, brought to you by the Berkeley Retirement Residences. Love this stage of life.
It's now 7:52, and very shortly we will share the details about a brand new contest. We're hooking a lucky CTV viewer up with the trip of a lifetime to visit the Bahamas, the islands of the Bahamas.
And Katie Kelly will be sharing her experience with viewers this week and today. She shows us where our winner will stay, along with some other local flavor.
We're kicking things off right in the heart of Nassau.
We have Wi-Fi, we have pools, we have beach access, we have water activities, you name it, we have
everything.
it. Yeah.
The British colonial Nassau, where the island's past and present come together in one iconic place.
It was built in 1901. I know it doesn't look like it, but it was built in 1901, and it has maintained its historic value and the legacy of being the oldest hotel in the Bahamas. You will see this light, airy atrium, right? And you have the staircase that everybody loves to take pictures on. And this is the center of the hub of the hotel, right? But also, you're right downtown, so anything that you want to do, you can go east or west. This is the center of it all.
Newly renovated guest rooms leave nothing to be desired.
Very spacious rooms that overlook the harbor. Most of our rooms have ocean views, and there are also some rooms with sea views if you want to see the busy Nassau streets.
Not to mention the private beach and pools.
It just really makes me feel good that we've been able to keep exclusivity of the beach.
And of course, a true taste of culture.
Woods Rogers Tavern, that's open for lunch and for dinner. And you name the drink that you'd like, we will curate it for you. Also, the Mahogany Restaurant. It is one of our pride and joy. It is Bahamian fine dining at its finest. We wanted to do a restaurant that highlights Bahamian cuisine, and so you have all the local favorites in that restaurant.
And across the island, the dining experience is just as refined. At the Fish Restaurant by celebrity chef Jose Andre, inside Atlantis Paradise Island Resort, the focus is on fresh local seafood, a celebration of island flavor served with 5-star presentation. Over at Baha Mar Resort, Chef Tevin Kemp invites visitors into his kitchen for a hands-on experience.
The kitchen is an interactive space where people of all ages, of all cultures come along and cook, whether you're professional or not. And we learn step-by-step cooking while enjoying the people and camaraderie around us. And then you're going to take a burst of that pineapple that's going to come out with that sweetness, and that's what we consider it to be.
He teaches us about a true island staple.
So tonight, we're showcasing what it is to be cultured here in the Bahamas. We're diving into some conch. How do we eat it here in the Bahamas? Why do we eat it? And in different ways that we prepare it.
And when the sun sets, the energy shifts. At the John Batiste Jazz Club at Baha Mar, world-class talent and island soul come together for a sophisticated night out. And if you prefer something more intimate?
We are an elevated craft cocktail bar. We try to take the cocktail experience and bring that tropical experience from being here in the resort and marry those together for a great experience that's lush and tropical and just transcendent.
The Dilly Club in downtown Nassau offers handcrafted cocktails and a chic vibe.
People really like our design treatment. They really like the idea of this very vintage-looking Bahamian feel, but still having an environment that's modern enough with really cool cocktails and really cool techniques.
The perfect nightcap after a day of sun, adventure, and discovery.
People should visit the Bahamas because we are more than sun, sand, and sea. We're a beautiful people with beautiful stories and just a zest for life.
I want to drink in a pig.
Me too.
That looks amazing.
Yeah. Well, CTV and the islands of the Bahamas have teamed up to send you on a tropical vacation.
Yes, one very lucky viewer and a guest will win a round-trip direct airfare situation from Halifax to Nassau. The 7-night stay also includes meal vouchers and a day trip to Blue Lagoon Island, where you'll experience an intimate dolphin encounter, plus so much more. Each weekday from now until Friday, we'll give you a keyword, and once you have it, head to ctvatlantic.ca and follow the contest prompts or scan the QR code on your screen right now. So you can enter once per keyword. We're also going to be giving away the keywords, I believe, on our show. The winner will be announced on November 21st. And so the keyword today is Bahamas. You can find out more by watching CTV News at 5 tonight, but scan that QR code, enter the word Bahamas, and you can get in on this action. I wish we could enter. Holy moly, that looks fantastic.
Absolutely. I want a vacation.
Yeah. I'm sure the weather in Bahamas is even nicer than it is here today, Latavia.
Absolutely. We're going to take a look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick on Remembrance Day today. We're looking at a high of 8 degrees, a chance of showers and or flurries for the province. Then on Wednesday, a high of 4, mainly sunny skies, also seeing some scattered showers return. And then on Thursday, warming up just a bit to 6 degrees and a mix of sun and cloud. And then for Nova Scotia, we are looking at bit of mixed precipitation as well, a high of 12 degrees. Rain for much of the province. We will be seeing a bit of isolated flurries as well. And then into the evening, flurries and or showers. And then on Wednesday, a high of 5. Mixed precipitation for much of the province yet again. And then on Thursday, a high of 7, a mix of sun and cloud with some scattered showers. Prince Edward Island's looking at a high of 15 today with isolated showers, evening rain. On Wednesday, a high of 5 with mainly cloudy skies. And then on Thursday, 6 degrees with cloudy skies across the island.
It's Tuesday, November 11th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, lest we forget, Canadians will honor those who gave their lives to serve our country on this Remembrance Day. Your top news headlines just ahead. Nick's cue. That's what we hear in our ears from our control room. Thank you so much, Daryl, for that. We appreciate the direction, but sometimes it's nice to bring you in on what we're seeing and hearing here on the studio versus what you hear at home. So that's just a little bit of what we get.
Oh my gosh, the control room, everybody in there works so hard.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to get this show to the air. I'll tell you that right now.
To get our bums in these seats at the right time.
Even just like this graphic behind us, several people are in charge of creating it and making sure that it's projected properly and everything else. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Certainly you've been busy as well. You've been MVP this week with all the weather.
Yeah, we've definitely had system after system. Last week it was system, a couple days nice, system. Now we're just having system after system after system. So that's what we're kind of dealing with. But pretty decent weather for the most part for the Maritime region. Here's a live look at Fredericton. You can see the roads are wet. But currently 10 degrees in your area and seeing a bit of sunshine early this morning. Still expecting a chance of some scattered showers throughout the day, but we will be seeing a reprieve for some of that precipitation across much of the Maritime region today. It is a warm start to the day. We are expecting above seasonal daytime highs for the most part for much of the Maritimes. As of right now, 15 degrees in Charlottetown with 14 in Halifax and Sydney, 10 in Yarmouth, 1 degree in Happy Valley Goose Bay, 3 into St. Anthony and Gander, 4 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Still holding on to that rainfall warning for much of Cape Breton Island. We also have a rainfall warning in effect and wind warning for parts of Newfoundland. Now parts of Labrador are dealing with a special weather statement, snowfall warning, and freezing rain warning. Here's a look at that system currently tracking across the region. We are seeing a bit of sunshine return, especially into the afternoon as well. This precipitation clears out for the most part from the Maritimes. Still holding on to precipitation, though, for Cape Breton Island, Eastern Nova Scotia, and that heavier part of the system focusing on Newfoundland and Labrador. In terms of our winds, starting off a bit lighter, will continue to pick up into the afternoon. As of right now, 33 kilometers per hour in St. John, New Brunswick, 39 in Canso, 31 in Miramichi, and 28 into Grand Etang in Sydney. Wind gusts, as of right now, getting up to 52 kilometers per hour in St. John, New Brunswick, Canso, and 43 in Grand Etang, 44 in Miramichi. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast, but first another look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Across Atlantic Canada and the country, Canadians will honor those who give their lives to serve. Whether outside at a cenotaph or inside an arena, Legion, or community center, most Remembrance Day ceremonies in our region will begin at 10:30 a.m. From the last post to 2 minutes of silence and the laying of wreaths, the tributes will honor our veterans and those who continue to serve and protect. Now, for those who can't attend in person, we will have a live stream of the Grand Parade ceremony on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. And of course, we will have special coverage of Remembrance Day services tonight on CTV News at 5 and 6. And as we told you here yesterday, in a rare move, Nova Scotia's top judge has weighed in on a public debate over barring poppies in the courtroom. In a statement released Sunday, the justice defends the practice, arguing it helps ensure court neutrality. Still, that hasn't quelled anger among those who see it as disrespectful.
Poppy is a symbol of remembrance, and that's all it is. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with anything else, and absolutely nothing to do with politics.
Perhaps you could ask that a poppy not be worn if they can kind of demonstrate that it shows a lack of neutrality, the veteran versus non-veteran setting. But other than that, that poppy should not be put in the same category as other kinds of political symbols and statements.
The news last week sparked a fiery debate. Even Premier Tim Houston weighed in, saying he would be prepared to introduce legislation protecting workers' rights to wear a poppy. The lawyer for comedic actor Mike Smith is reminding people the case against his client is unproven at this time.
This is an allegation at this point. It hasn't been proven. It'll be tried in the court. It won't be tried in the media. And in the meantime, we ask that the privacy of everyone involved be respected.
All I can do is comment on what this particular file that we have at this time, and that without giving any further information that could identify the complainant, I can confirm that there is one female complainant.
Mike Smith plays the character Bubbles in the Trailer Park Boys. The sexual assault allegation dates back to December 30th, 2017 in Dartmouth. Smith was charged last month. He did not appear in court yesterday. Instead, his lawyer spoke on his behalf. The judge ordered a publication ban on the identity of the complainant. The 53-year-old actor has also been ordered to have no contact with her. A Nova Scotia man who has been charged after allegedly barricading himself inside a home in Waverley last month. The 35-year-old from Myers Point is facing a charge of unauthorized possession of a firearm. Police say the suspect did not live in the home and no one else was there at the time. Streets were closed and an emergency alert was issued. The man has been released and will appear in court at a later date. Canada has lost its measles elimination status after more than 25 years following an outbreak that began in New Brunswick in October of last year. The Pan American Health Organization revoked the status after confirming there has been ongoing transmission of the same strain of measles for more than 1 year. It spread to more than 5,000 people in Canada, including some in Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. Experts attribute the return to declining vaccination rates. We'll have more on this with CTV's Scott Hurst at 8:30. The PWHL is coming to Halifax. The league has announced 2 games at the Scotiabank Centre with tickets going on sale to the general public next Friday rather. The first game is Wednesday, December 17th. That will be Toronto against Montreal. That game at 7:30 p.m. And the second game will be Ottawa against Boston. That will be on Sunday, January 11th at 1 p.m. It's part of the PWHL Takeover Tour to give fans a chance to experience the competitiveness of the regular season in their own communities. Finally, some legendary rockers posted online that they're up for hitting the road again. For the first time in 23 years, Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings are reuniting as the Guess Who. And what's also really exciting is that the tour is going to kick off in our region. The Canadian tour will start May 26th in Moncton. The Taking It Back tour will also hit Halifax the next day, and we'll go on to Toronto, Winnipeg, Calgary, Vancouver, and more, with special guest Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles. So after more than 2 decades apart, the Guess Who are ready to rock Canada once again, and those pre-sale tickets begin today.
Well, you know what? I love how this is not the first large tour that starts in our region, because they know they're going to get a great response here. They want to kick things off on a high note because we bring the energy here and the appreciation.
We bring the party and the kitchen party.
Indeed. Indeed. Okay, fun news here. The Toy Hall of Fame has announced its latest inductees, and we were talking about those who might make it in.
Ooh.
Here we go. Here's who made it. Each year, the Hall of Fame recognizes toys that have inspired creative play across generations. This year, Battleship, Slime, and Trivial Pursuit join the ranks of iconic toys. Other Hall of Famers include My Little Pony, the Spinning Top, Scrabble. I mean, you can go to this, a lot of iconic toys on there. Public votes decide who wins, and expert panelists. So congratulations, toys.
Good job.
How was My Little Pony not already in there?
Oh, I think My Little Pony is in there.
Yeah, like those are some of the other ones that are already in there.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, I'm clearly not here today.
But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you were like, I'm surprised. Like, I'm surprised Battleship wasn't in there already.
That was true. That's the iconic game.
Wasn't one of the nominations, or was it also in there, Snow?
Yeah, Sand.
Sand?
Yeah.
Snow?
Yeah, that guess it's something you play with, I know. Sand might bring us to our live eye shot, actually. There's probably some sand there on the ocean floor. Wet sand, very wet.
Yeah.
You can mold it into clay, exactly.
Oh.
My God.
Coming up, Latavia's got the forecast on this Remembrance Day. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 8:13. We're taking a live look at Wentworth. 16 degrees starting off your day, a bit cloudy, but we are seeing some clearing of that precipitation. A chance of showers won't return until this evening. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. We are seeing warmer temperatures for the Maritime region at least. As of right now, it is 9 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, 13 in Moncton and in Halifax, 15 in Sydney, 16 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown, 5 into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do still have a rainfall warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island. Rain at times heavy is expected around 25 to 45 millimeters. A rainfall warning also in effect for parts of Newfoundland. Looking at significant rainfall, could get up to 130 millimeters. A wind warning also remains until Wednesday morning. Looking at wind gusts between 80 to 110 kilometers per hour. Special weather statement for parts of Labrador. Looking at some heavy snow expected, 20 centimeters around there. And then snowfall warning also in effect until later this morning. Snowfall amounts 35 centimeters expected. Here's a look at that current system tracking across the region. We are seeing a bit of clearing of that precipitation for parts of the Maritimes. And then we are still seeing a chance of some isolated showers and or flurries for parts of the region. The heavier rainfall situated into parts of eastern Nova Scotia and Cape Breton Island. And that heavier part of the system, Newfoundland and Labrador, are getting heavy snow and heavy rain. Into this afternoon, much of the same, seeing a bit of sunshine return for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Taking us into this evening, we have another low wrapping back around, bringing a chance of showers and or flurries our way, taking us into early Wednesday morning. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, only seeing around 5 to 10 millimeters of additional precipitation for Charlottetown. The heaviest of this precipitation will focus in on Cape Breton Island. And then Newfoundland and Labrador also seeing totals expected, getting the heaviest around 40 to 50 for Happy Valley Goose Bay, and also seeing around 60 to 80 for parts of Newfoundland. For our snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters for northern New Brunswick, parts of Nova Scotia, and seeing around 5 to 10 for parts of Labrador. So for our forecast today for New Brunswick, we do have a low chance of some showers and or flurries today, wind gusts of up to 50. Prince Edward Island also seeing a chance of showers, transitions over to periods of rain into the evening. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, periods of rain throughout the day with a risk of thunderstorms and wind gusts of up to 50. And a pretty warm day ahead for the rest of Nova Scotia, seeing a bit of sunshine for the southwestern region and a chance of showers on and off throughout the day as well. For Labrador City, looking at a high of 4 degrees, snow at times heavy expected throughout the day, with a high of 7 into St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at heavy rain also expected. So taking a look at our Wednesday forecast, we will be seeing sunshine return for the most part. Temperatures really cooling down to below seasonal for our daytime highs. And we do have a chance of some showers and or flurries for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing heavier snow for parts of Labrador as well. Into Wednesday evening, another system will make its way over, bringing another chance of showers and a chance of flurries into Thursday's forecast. That's a look at your weather forecast. Now we'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. There will be a significant change today at the National Remembrance Day ceremony in Ottawa. Governor General Mary Simon, the Commander-in-Chief of Canada's Armed Forces, will not be able to attend as she recovers in hospital from a respiratory virus. She is said to be doing well. Chief Justice Richard Wagner will attend the ceremony on her behalf. Communities in our region and, of course, across the country honor Remembrance Day with displays of poppies and signage. One Ontario town has put up nearly 200 banners to honor the fallen. And one of those banners represents a love story that began just after the end of the Second World War. Here is CTV's Carol Charles with the story.
99-year-old Mary Brown takes a moment to look up and see a picture of her husband, Fred Brown. Brown enlisted for World War II service in the Canadian Army and was assigned to the Royal Canadian Corps of Signals. Over the past few weeks, his image has towered over King Street in Bowmanville. A happy memory for Mary just before she steps into Cut and Curl Salon for her weekly hair appointment. She is a bit of a celebrity at this shop.
Lady Linda and Miss Mary.
And takes joy in sharing stories about her life with Fred.
We got married the 27th of November 1945.
A long-lasting love affair.
69 years of marriage, so.
69?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty good.
It all began when Mary, who is originally from Aberdeen, Scotland, met Brown at a movie theater. He had traveled to Scotland from England by train while on leave from service.
He always had his uniform on in Scotland.
Mary says her Canadian war veteran spoke very little of the battles he saw.
All the time we were married, he didn't talk about it.
Why do you think?
I think they wanted to forget what they'd seen.
She says her Fred was one of the lucky ones. He survived World War II.
He was lucky he didn't get, the only thing, he got shrapnel in some parts of him.
After the war ended, they married, moved to Canada, and raised a family. Bowmanville has been their home since 1953, a place which holds decades of memories.
He was a good man, and he was a kind man, and I just loved him, and I still love him.
In September of 2014, at the age of 91, Brown received a service medal from the French embassy in Ottawa for the role he played in helping to liberate France. A proud moment for Mary, too.
Oh, you're darn right. And all my family, too. Everybody that served, we were proud of them. They were sticking up for their country.
Brown died on April 25th, 2015, at the age of 93. But his hometown of Bowmanville has not forgotten him.
I look up and I say, there's my honey.
Carol Charles, CTV News.
Oh, what a beautiful story. We're going to take a quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll talk with Pause for Thought, a service that provides service dogs to veterans. That's coming up next. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. It's 8:23, and it is Remembrance Day. And on a special edition of Pet Talk, we introduce you to Pause for Thought, a Nova Scotia-based charity that aims to pair service dogs with veterans coping with operational stress injuries. Here to tell us more is Mike Gingell, the service dog provider liaison for Pause for Thought. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us more about Pause for Thought. What does your organization do?
Well, we pair veterans that are suffering from occupational stress injury, particularly PTSD and everything that goes around that, with service dogs that help them deal with day-to-day issues and tasks. I got to start a little bit by telling you how we got to where we are. And it's a shout out to Medrick Kuzno, who suffered from PTSD and discovered the benefits of using service dogs. He was paired with service dog Ty in 2012. And his life was changed. He recognized the value of having service dogs at that time. And because of that, my wife, who ended up in a tour in Sierra Leone, who came back injured, she was diagnosed with PTSD in 2006. That almost ended our marriage and our family and everything else. But she discovered the service dogs through our MLA at the time and was paired with her service dog, Omega. Changes were immediate. The dog literally saved her life, our marriage, and our family, right? So since then, Kim and I decided early on to pay it forward, helping with administration and logistics of pairing service dogs with veterans, making sure that the dog providers were training their dogs properly, and looking after the clients, our veterans, once they got their dogs, and dealing with all of that. So Pause for Thought is really an organization of one at the moment, with a couple of volunteers that coordinate, liaise with the service dog provider, talk to the mental health professionals that are working with the veterans, deal with travel, transportation, accommodation, and dog issues throughout the lifespan of the dog. Even now, we're getting a lot of dogs that are retiring, so we now are pairing veterans that still need service dogs with what we call successor dogs.
Wow,
So
it's fascinating. It is. We're seeing images now of veterans with their service animals, and you can speak from your experience. Thank you for sharing your story. I mean, I guess, how does the dog change the life of the individual that gets paired with the animal?
Well, You know, I like to say that, you know, service dogs, they're very special. I kind of like to define service dogs, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, service dogs undergo intensive, very task-specific training. Can take 1 to 2 years to actually make it through the system, and obviously not all dogs can do that. Some of the things that they do, they will interrupt panic attacks by nudging or licking or pawing. They'll wake handlers from nightmares and night terrors before they trigger and get really bad. They can create physical barriers in public spaces by getting in front or watching their six, which is getting in behind and watching their back. They can be trained to remind their handlers to take medications. They can do deep pressure therapy, and they can be their best buds. They're trained to, you know, be very calm in high stress environments so that they alleviate anxiety for veterans that previously maybe never left their house and now can get out and get on with their life a little bit better than they could before.
Well, Mike, it sounds like it's a very, you know, special animal, and the work that you're doing is so important and life-changing. We're out of time, but very quickly, how can people donate to help you in your work?
Well, we have no federal funding or government funding at all. So our primary fundraising is through donations. Most of our donations come through veterans groups. And we are supported by Wounded Warriors Canada. So if you want to donate to Pause for Thought directly, you can go to the Wounded Warriors Canada supported service dog page and designate any donations to Pause for Thought. At that point, we can carry on and prepare more veterans.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time today. We have put that Pause for Thought information on our website to make it easy for people to find. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we will take a break. It is now 8:28. Your Morning Atlantic will return right after this.
Still to come on this Remembrance Day, a soldier remembers. It's become a tradition for us to air the story by the late Bill Jessen. We'll bring you his memories in his own words, just ahead.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada. Thank you so much for joining us for our show. It's 8:31, still a half hour left on this Remembrance Day, and we want to talk about our Move Morning Chat.
Wow.
Yes, so we asked our viewers this morning what is a memorable Remembrance Day ceremony that they have attended.
Absolutely. And the number is 10400. Send us a text. We'll share your answers a little bit later on the show. We've received a few so far, but we would love to hear about your memories from around the region.
And lots of people heading to the cenotaph today. Other services indoors some places, but many are outdoors, and that's where weather comes in.
Absolutely. And we're going to see pretty warm temperatures for the Maritime region, and also just a chance of showers carrying around for much of the Maritime. So early this morning over in Hampton, you can see a cloudy air start to the day. Currently not wet in your area. Still seeing a chance of showers expected, though. Just something to keep in mind when you are heading out today. We do have that wet weather tracking across Atlantic Canada, a bit heavier for Newfoundland and Labrador. We'll take a look at our satellite in just a second. It is 9 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, 8 into St. John, New Brunswick, 16 early this morning in Charlottetown, 13 degrees in Halifax, 15 in Sydney, -5 in Labrador City, and 5 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Still holding on to that rainfall warning in effect for parts of Cape Breton Island, seeing a rainfall warning and wind warning in effect for parts of Newfoundland. And then for Labrador, looking at a special weather statement, snowfall warning, the freezing rain warning has just now ended. Over to our satellite and radar now. So a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of the Maritime region today. We are going to see periods of rain, at times heavy for parts of Cape Breton Island, eastern Nova Scotia, and then that heavier part of the system situated into Newfoundland and Labrador, heavy snow and heavy rain expected. Wind will continue to pick up into the afternoon. As of right now, seeing sustained wind, 41 kilometers per hour in Canso, 35 into Sydney, 31 in Grand Etang, 28 in Charlottetown and in Moncton. Wind gusts getting up to 54 in Canso, 50 kilometers per hour in Sydney, 52 in Yarmouth, and 44 in Miramichi. We'll have one last look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first, one last look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Across Atlantic Canada and the country, Canadians will honor those who gave their lives to serve. Whether outside at a cenotaph or inside an arena, Legion, or community center, most Remembrance Day ceremonies in our region will begin at 10:30 a.m. From the playing of the last post to 2 minutes of silence and the laying of wreaths, the tributes will honor our veterans and those who continue to serve and protect. Now, for those who can't attend in person, we will have a live stream of the Grand Parade ceremony in Halifax on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. And we will have special coverage of Remembrance Day services tonight on CTV News at 5 and 6. Canada has lost its measles elimination status after more than 25 years following an outbreak that began in New Brunswick in October of last year. The Pan American Health Organization revoked the status after confirming there has been ongoing transmission of the same strain of measles for more than 1 year. It spread to more than 5,000 people in Canada, including some in Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. Experts attribute the return to declining vaccination rates. For more on this, we bring in CTV's Scott Hurst. Scott, what has reaction to Canada losing its elimination status look like across the country?
Good morning, Amanda. Medical health professionals say it is unfortunate. It's a step backwards, yet unfortunately, from their perspective, quite predictable, saying it'll bruise our reputation on the international stage. Canada received its measles elimination status in 1998 after decades of rallying to stop its circulation. Measles is one of the world's most contagious diseases, but low vaccination rates leading to a year of outbreaks across the country have put Canada in this situation. From 1998 to 2024, an average of just over 90 cases were reported annually. As you mentioned, so far this year, there have been more than 5,000 confirmed and probable cases. Now, of course, we all know when it comes to measles, a rash and high fever are the most common symptoms. While most recover, it can lead to much more serious consequences. Here's more from Dr. Isaac Bogosh.
I think it's really going to involve funding federal, provincial, and municipal public health programs so they could do the good work that they're intended to do. And part of that good work is community outreach, building trust among all the communities for which they serve, and being able to lower barriers to vaccinations like routine childhood immunization, such that you bring the vaccines to the people rather than people to the vaccines.
So, Amanda, as I reported, according to medical health professionals, unfortunate that we are back in this situation, but due to the outbreak that we've seen from medical health professionals, it is predictable.
And this is the situation we're in now, so where do we go from here to regain that status?
Experts say it could be a long road back to be able to regain that status, but the tools are there: increasing vaccination rates, strengthening public health measures like contact tracing, and creating a national vaccine database. Those are some of the top recommendations. And we should point out this designation by the Pan American Health Organization is largely symbolic, but here's what needs to happen to regain that status.
Once the outbreak's declared over, then we will have to work for 12 months to sustain that lack of transmission. And at the end of that 12 months, we have to prove to the Pan American Health Organization that we have no transmission going on and that our surveillance systems, the monitoring systems are good enough to prove that we've got no transmission, and also show that our immunization coverage is high enough.
Amanda, you touched on it in the introduction, but just to put this all into perspective, public health officials say Canada's measles outbreak began in October 2024 at a wedding in New Brunswick with an international traveler. The virus then spread throughout the country, mainly among the unvaccinated, with Alberta and Ontario struggling the most to control the spread of the virus throughout this past year.
Scott, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on this.
Thanks, Amanda.
CTV's Scott Hurst reporting live for us from our national newsroom in Toronto. Finally, the PWHL is coming to our region. At least for 2 games. The league has announced 2 games at the Scotiabank Centre in Halifax, with tickets on sale to the general public next Friday. The first game is Wednesday, December 17th. That will be Toronto against Montreal. 7:30 p.m. is the time. Then the second game won't be until January. It's Sunday, January 11th. It's an afternoon game at 1 p.m. That will be between Ottawa and Boston. This is all part of the PWHL Takeover Tour to give fans a chance to experience the competitiveness of the regular season in their own communities. That's going to be an exciting time. And Crystal, you had mentioned it earlier, it could be a good gift for someone.
Great gift. Great gift. Birthday gift, Christmas gift. Yeah.
It's Crystal's birthday today, too.
It is. Yeah. So you give me a gift if you want.
Right? Yeah.
Just joking, just joking, just joking. Okay, what's going on in community calendar?
Yeah, we'll take a look. Because it's Remembrance Day, we're talking about Remembrance Day ceremonies. So in Fredericton, this ceremony will be held at the Fredericton Cenotaph today from 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. You can come out and honor our veterans. There will be a march taking place right at 10:30 a.m. For additional information, you can head over to the website on your screen. And in Charlottetown, you can commemorate Remembrance Day from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. A small gathering will take place at the Legion Branch 1 before the ceremony at the Cenotaph. For additional details, head over to the website on your screen. And a Remembrance Day commemoration will be held at the Halifax Citadel National Historic Site today from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can visit the Army Museum, tour Citadel Hill, and at 11 a.m. the 1st Field Artillery I can't even speak today.
It's a tip one, artillery, yeah.
Thank you. Regiment will fire a salute at the front entrance, followed by the firing at noon. So if you need additional information, you can head over to Parks Canada's website. And if you do have an upcoming event, please send us the details, Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
Thanks so much for that, Latavia. Coming up next, heading off to war. We'll bring you one of our favorite stories from our late colleague, Bill Jessam, his recollections of leaving from Halifax's Pier 21 to fight for his country. Stay with us. CTV's Your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back.
It is quite a foggy start to the day over in Cape Smoky. Welcome back. The time now is 8:43. 12 degrees starting off your day. We are expecting periods of rain throughout the day as well. Something to keep in mind if you are headed out in that area today. A much warmer start to the day across the Maritimes. A bit cooler for Newfoundland and Labrador. As of right now, 9 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton with 16 in both Charlottetown and Sydney. 13 degrees early this morning in Halifax, 2 into Happy Valley Goose Bay, 8 degrees in Corner Brook, and 5 into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do still have a rainfall warning in effect until Wednesday morning for most of Cape Breton Island. Rain at times heavy is expected, the heaviest being around 45 millimeters. And for Newfoundland, looking at a rainfall warning as well, significant rainfall expected. Could get up to 130 millimeters by Wednesday morning. And a wind warning as well in effect. Wind gusts between 80 to 110 kilometers per hour. We do still have a special weather statement that remains in effect for parts of Labrador. Heavy snow expected at around 20 centimeters. That snowfall warning remains up to 35 centimeters of snowfall. And a freezing rain warning has now ended. Over to our forecast timeline. So we are seeing a bit of clearing from that precipitation for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Seeing a bit of sunshine early this morning as well. But we do still have a chance of showers and flurries across New Brunswick, parts of Prince Edward Island, and seeing a bit heavier precipitation for parts of eastern Nova Scotia and around Cape Breton Island with a risk of thunderstorms early in the morning. Now, the heaviest of the system is situated into Newfoundland and Labrador. Heavy rain across Newfoundland, and for Labrador, heavy snow as well as some precipitation. Into the afternoon, a bit more clears out. Clouds clear as well, leaving a bit more sunshine into the Maritimes. Still seeing a chance of showers and or flurries loom for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Taking us into the evening when another low pressure system moves in, bringing showers and or flurries our way yet again. That heavier snowfall and rainfall situated still into Newfoundland and Labrador. If you're wondering about rainfall totals, it's going to remain quite light across New Brunswick, seeing around 5 to 10 millimeters for Charlottetown. Heavier rainfall, additional precipitation expected for eastern Nova Scotia and Cape Breton Island. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, still seeing heavier totals over there as well. For our snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters for Edmonton and parts of Nova Scotia. Heavier a little bit for parts of Labrador, 5 to 10 centimeters of snowfall. So for our forecast today, it's quite warm into the afternoon for our daytime highs. Temperatures will cool into the mid to late afternoon. We're still dealing with a chance of showers and or flurries across the province. For Prince Edward Island, we will be seeing a bit of sunshine for parts of the island, but also going to see periods of showers and then transitions over to periods of rain into the evening. Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at rain at times heavy for parts of this part of the province. Still warm daytime highs and wind gusts getting up to 50. And then the rest of Nova Scotia, a mix of sun and cloud for the southwestern region. and then seeing a chance of showers move in, a chance of showers for mainland Nova Scotia as well. And then for Labrador City, a high of 4 degrees, snow at times heavy, rain at times heavy for St. John's, Newfoundland, with a high of 7. Tomorrow's forecast, temperatures start to cool down. We will be seeing sunshine for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, still dealing with snow for Labrador and mixed precipitation for Newfoundland. And then into Wednesday evening, another low pressure system makes its way over, bringing showers and or flurries back around across the region, Crystal.
Thank you, Latavia. It's now 8:46, and our next story is one CTV Atlantic first brought you more than 25 years ago. On this Remembrance Day, we wanted to share it with you yet again in what has become a tradition for us here on Your Morning Atlantic. Our late colleague Bill Jessam served his country on the front lines in Italy during the Second World War, leaving Canada, like so many others, from Halifax's Pier 21. When Bill told his story, Pier 21 was an unused building on the waterfront, not the beautiful National Historic Site it is today. Here is Bill telling his own story, shot so beautifully by our late cameraman Kevin McDonald. We thank Bill for his service and for sharing his story.
In the silence and stillness of a 1940s dawn, and while a nation sleeps in peace, ghostly faces move slowly down the long, narrow passageways of Pier 21. These were the welcoming doors that opened to Canada's immigrants. And Pier 21 was also the last place in Canada where its army passed through on its way to war. And beyond these doors and up the gangways, the chariots of war waited to carry Canada's youth off to foreign lands, off to war. If we're allowed a personal observation, Pier 21 has changed very little since I first marched through its doors so many years ago. It was, as I remember, a cold and rainy, windy morning. As I marched up the gangway, I smiled and I joked with my buddies, but deep inside there was a horrible feeling of the unknown. I remember turning in that early dawn, trying to see beyond Halifax to my own hometown, to my own family, wanting them to know that I was heading off to war. And I also had a terrible feeling that I would never come back, never again see the faces of my family or of the young girl I thought I could never get out of my mind. Those thoughts were probably shared by thousands of other young Canadians going off to war. Soldiers like Alan Moore of Dartmouth, who at 16 joined up. He too remembers Pier 21 and the unknown beyond the sea.
The year was 1942. I was all of 16 years of age at that time. And the month was December, which was very close to Christmas. And they marched us from the railroad station on through to the sheds here, the pier, Pier 21. And the Ile-de-France was berthed there, and we were all marched aboard and loaded to disembark to go overseas. So well, moving up on board and walking toward the bow of the Ile-de-France and looking across the harbor, and I could see, my eyes were good then too, I could see my mom out in the backyard and hanging her laundry on the line. And I said, oh, if only I could get home for just a few moments. But of course, we never did.
Even after so many years, when one thinks he understands what war is all about, he still has much to learn. And when he allows his mind to open that closed door to war, he cannot but remember painfully those who became his brothers in war and in death.
You had to depend on each other and rely on each other to win your objective or get to where you had to go. You're bringing back too many memories now, Bill, and I'm thinking of all those fellas. I know where they're buried, and yeah, it's tough, really tough.
We have come a very long way from that dark time. A world and its people that were nearly destroyed have risen from the ashes to become united in peace. A country that was divided by war has become whole again. Was it worth it? And for all those Canadians who did not return through Pier 21 and to their loved ones, was their sacrifice worth it? Did they die in vain? The answer will not be found only on Remembrance Day, but only if today's generation understands what this country is all about, understands and appreciates it as a fading soldier does.
Welcome back. It is time now to share your answers to our Move Morning Chat. So today we're asking about a Remembrance Day service that really stuck out in your mind, or perhaps where you'll be today. Tammy from Rishabukta Road says, my biggest memories are being in different groups when I was a child and walking in the parade from the store to the Legion in Boys Town, New Brunswick. Every year we walked in either the snow or it was snowing, but we knew we had an important job to do for our veterans. I'm not sure how long it has been since we've had snow stay in November. Very mild today, as Latavia's been saying. Next up, Marlene says, today I'll be going to the Porter's Lake ceremony, then to Pleasant Point to lay poppies on the grave of my dad, who was a Korean War vet, my uncle, whose life was taken on the HMCS Charlottetown Corvette, and my step-great-grandfather, who was a vet of both the Second World War and Korean War. My great-grandfather was buried at sea. He was a merchant marine. Donald St. Clair gave the ultimate sacrifice. He was 24, and they were hit by a U-boat. What a connection, Marlene. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing
those stories. Kim says, I spent many a year at Remembrance Day parades, especially when I was a kid in Sea Cadets. It always gave me goosebumps. The pride and the camaraderie among everyone were amazing. Cynthia says, I'm a member of the Canadian Military Wives Choir, Halifax, about 30 of us, and we're singing at the Cenotaph at Cole Harbour Place today, so perhaps you will see them sing there.
Wonderful way to mark the day.
Yeah, very lovely. So thank you to everyone who took the time to send us a text and share their memories of their tributes, and we do thank all of our veterans, those who still serve as well, for their service, not just today, but throughout the year.
Yes. Yes. It is such an important day, Remembrance Day, and if you aren't able to go to Cenotaph, we do have the coverage live on our website that you can watch the Grand Parade ceremonies. So have a great November 11th, and we will see you tomorrow, 6 a.m. on November 12th.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Take care.